All right, a couple of quick notes, actually. We are in a new...
Where'd all the art go?
We are in
Where's
a new
the art?
filming space, which is fine. Everything will look normal eventually. It's just been a long weekend, and we're going to get the lighting and the art back on the wall situated sometime soon. If for some reason you'd like to do some fan art and have it featured on the wall, send it to us.
No better time than now.
Yeah.
The wall is blank. It is a blank canvas.
But stay tuned to the end of the episode for a nice surprise about some merch that we've got coming out in the immediate future as well. Now we can get into the show. I think we can all agree that distractions are extremely important at a time like this, and luckily the promotional rollout of the big screen adaptation of the musical adaptation of author L. Frank Baum's classic novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, has delivered. Wicked, the Broadway musical that will be released as, apparently, a two-part film series that stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, releases later this month, and the studio, as well as desperate theater owners, are hoping that it is an absolutely massive success. Now, to coincide with the release of this film, and in anticipation of it being just an absolute box office smash, Wicked has released a line of merchandise so that families everywhere can stuff their kids' stockings with figurines from their kids' new favorite film. But parents should be cautioned, because somehow, some way, the packaging for these new collectible figurines links directly to a classic porn site that has been having the best weekend for traffic in well over a decade.
Yeah, it turns out people do read the back of the packaging. They are willing to open up their favorite web browser to check out more information for a movie they appear to already be interested in. Because on the back of the packaging for Mattel's officially licensed Wicked figurines, the website listed above the barcode, it should have been wickedmovie.com, but it was printed as simply wicked.com instead. And yeah, wicked.com, that's a porno website. And not just any porno website, it's one of the classics.
Yep.
And the misprint on this packaging has led to the most significant increase in traffic to their website in 12 years, according to Google Trends. We're back in the Obama era, in this one way.
In this one scenario, it's back, baby.
For reference, Wicked Pictures, the company who runs the pornographic website, not the people who made the Wizard of Oz adaptation, has a lengthy history, which ironically involves many of your favorite porn parodies from over the years, from Batman parodies all the way to Cinderella, Snow White, and the Avengers.
So
have they done a Wizard of Oz porn parody?
Okay, so without doing too much bad research on the work computer, I did find that there is a Wizard of Oz porn parody, but I could not and would not go far enough to link it back directly
What's the title? The Wizard of Jizz?
No, I think it's just, like, all of these titles, at least when they were coming out at the time, they weren't really puns. It was mostly just a porn parody.
The Cumderful Wizard of Oz?
I don't think so. But there is one out there. I don't know if they did it, but yeah.
I wonder what the Tin Man's dick looks like.
It's silver.
Does he shoot oil out?
Yes. Do you have any more questions?
So many, but I'm not going to get off track
Thank you.
here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So obviously, a bunch of toys for children hitting store shelves with an adult website linked on the back, specifically a website that produces parody films, probably isn't the best look for the film, the studio, and the manufacturer, who are all hoping to bank as much as possible off of this adaptation. So that's why they have made the difficult decision to notify parents of the misprint and ask them nicely to please absolutely destroy that packaging.
Yes, carve that entire link out with your favorite knife.
But in addition to asking consumers to destroy the box, they've also decided to remove the toys from store shelves, which will certainly be a financial headache for Mattel, and a potential financial windfall for anyone lucky enough to get their hands on the Wicked figures, porn limited edition.
Yes.
Here's the Hollywood Reporter with more on this silly little mix-up.
Wicked movie merchandising turned into a nightmare for Mattel over the weekend as news broke that a web address listed on the packaging for character dolls took consumers to an adult pornographic site. The toy company apologized later Sunday. Mattel was made aware of a misprint on the packaging of the Mattel Wicked Collection dolls, primarily sold in the United States, which intended to direct consumers to the official wickedmovie.com landing page, read a statement. We deeply regret this unfortunate error and are taking immediate action to remedy this. Parents are advised that the misprinted, incorrect website is not appropriate for children. Consumers who already have the product are advised to discard the product packaging or obscure the link and may contact Mattel customer service for further information. The character dolls being sold with the erroneous address include Grande's Glinda and Arrivo's Elphaba. The products with misprinted websites have already popped up on eBay for $100 to $800. The dolls retail for $24.99 to $39.99.
Yeah, like I was speculating. There you go. The porno misprints, just like other misprints in the world of collectibles, are actually much more valuable now. More so than before, now that Mattel has instructed parents to discard or destroy the packages that were purchased for kids, which obviously further increases the rarity of this very unique, one-of-a-kind mistake.
I did see that one of the excuses might be, several months ago, just like every other major company on the planet right now, several months ago, Mattel was like,
we're going to use
AI to really cut some corners and save some money. I don't see how a Wicked.com link would be because of AI, but anything's possible.
I'm sure it was a placeholder that didn't get switched out.
Yeah, could be.
These packaging designs go through a lot of phases and a lot of stuff. It's like, okay, this is a placeholder for whatever the website ends up being.
Yeah.
And
what's the worst that could be?
I'll just make sure to remember to swap that out.
Wicked.com, what's the worst that could happen? A website about Boston? But speaking of
Wicked.com.
But speaking of being forced to issue a warning about something that might destroy the young people, it looks like Australia isn't just home to the world's most dangerous animals. It's also where you'll find the world's most dangerous playground, because over in Sydney, people and children who are seeking a cheerful outdoor activity are ending up in the hospital. Here's the Sydney Morning Herald with some words that we never thought could describe a playground.
A $1.8 million whale-shaped playground that opened in the center of Cronulla's shopping strip last September got off to a bad start. A boy's legs disappeared almost to the knees when he fell through the springs of one of its 2 in-ground trampolines. Local paper, The Leader, reported. I thought they were going to say his legs actually disappeared.
Yeah, they haven't found his legs yet.
Crazy.
Some are saying they're still down there.
A month later, the swirly blue slide, which comes out of the whale's tail, was found to contain defective bolts and was shut down. That was before local Facebook pages started receiving reports of parents finding feces smeared inside it. Oh, God.
At least that one's like a standard playground mishap. You got a kid with a full diaper going down a slide, you're going to have some feces being smeared on that slide.
They're making little boys' legs disappear down at the park.
That's the rumor that's going to spread online. My son's legs.
I still think Boston's got it beat.
The cop slide?
Yeah, the cop slide.
The violent slide, yes.
The cop slide. It shoots out cops.
Wicked.com is just a looped video of that guy flying out of the slide.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So yeah, you might think that the poop and the disappearing legs and the bolts was the worst of it, but we assure you that this playground, this cursed playground, and the people who even mistakenly come in contact with it are in fact cursed. Numerous passersby have fallen into the trampoline, sending one elderly lady to the hospital, and the metal plates the council installed after those falls became so hot in the sun that at least 2 children were burnt while sitting on them.
In January this year, shortly after the playground opened, an elderly woman fell into one of the trampolines that sit just below ground level. She was taken to hospital and left with a broken nose and a bruised face. Months on, she still has no taste or smell.
What?
Then, an elderly man drove his mobility scooter directly over the trampoline.
Oh, God. Bouncy bounce.
It shot him over the roof of a nearby business.
This is like Happy Wheels.
Boys. The in-ground trampolines are making everyone around them upset.
Yeah.
Once back on the scooter, he proceeds to mount 2 small domes made of softball a few meters away.
What does that mean?
So I guess he drove into the trampoline. He didn't comically bounce over an entire building. No, he just fell over. Then people helped him get up again. And then he drove onto 2 elevated portions of the playground where his scooter got stuck, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
So just a calamity of errors.
Yeah. The council in early October covered the trampolines with metal sheets as a safety measure while waiting for stronger springs to arrive from overseas. And that was when things got worse. With no shade sails in the park, the council said they would be installed soon, those metal plates became very hot. Mother Ashley Marcoux' 3-year-old daughter was burnt when she sat on the plates she had previously known as trampolines. She didn't quite realize what she had burnt herself on, but then Marcoux saw the plates. "You could have fried an egg on it," she said. The burns sustained on her daughter's leg were so significant they are still there 2 weeks later. And to top it all off, at least one member of the council is apparently convinced that the person crashing their mobility scooter was a conspiracy to make them all look bad.
Yeah. I know how to shut down this playground once and for all. That way we can get our cool pickleball courts in here instead.
Yes. Carol Provin, a current counselor who campaigned for the playground project, said there were some tweakings to be made, but she dismissed the video of the elderly man falling into the trampoline as a setup. When you look at the video, it was an older man on one of those electric mobility things, and he just sort of rolled over, which I thought was a bit odd, she said.
It sounds like something that does happen.
Yeah, very suspicious how the obvious cause and effect relationship between these two things played out. What?
But look, at least when you get hurt in Australia, there's universal health care to help soften the blow financially.
Do they have universal health care?
They do.
Okay.
Now, it might not be perfect, but at least you got it. This next story will shock anyone who doesn't live in the United States of America, which is, of course, the wealthiest and therefore healthiest nation
we
in the
don't
world.
need to go to the doctor because we're always feeling so good.
Yeah. A man in Oregon was riding along on his bicycle when something happened to him, something that is all too common here in our car-centric culture. He was hit by a moving vehicle. Now, luckily for him, the vehicle that hit him was an ambulance, so they were able to quickly cart him off to the hospital. Now, unfortunately for him, that ride to the hospital by the vehicle that hit and injured him ended up costing $1,800, and that was just the beginning of the charges that he was faced with.
Doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, imagine getting hit by a car and them charging you for hitting you. Here's local outlet The Oregonian with more.
An Oregon cyclist who was struck by an ambulance that made a right turn into him, fracturing his nose and leaving him with scrapes and other injuries across his body, has filed a $997,000 lawsuit against the ambulance provider after it scooped him up, drove him to the hospital, and then billed him for the service, according to the suit. Attorney Travis Mayer says the ambulance provider, Columbia River Fire and Rescue, sent his client, 71-year-old William Hosch, a $1,862 bill for the ambulance ride. That's among about $47,000 in medical expenses that Hosch has racked up so far, and another $50,000 of medical costs he expects in the future, the suit states. Columbia River Fire and Rescue declined to comment. And just want to point out, in case you missed that, the dude got a fractured nose and scrapes. You know, you don't want that to happen to you, obviously, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Not exactly life-threatening. Seems like a pretty easy fix. You're not going to be going to the doctor too many times to get all that sorted out. And his hospital bill was around $47,000 before insurance.
Ugh.
If you don't have insurance, that is an absolutely massive amount of money you now owe through no fault of your own.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the cash thing, like, you can negotiate that
You
down.
can, but no one wants to spend months arguing with
And even
a
then,
hospital.
you're going to owe thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and through no fault of his own.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong.
Just a cyclist.
This happened to him at the fault of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, even if you have the bare minimum for health insurance, the deductible alone will be financially devastating. What a country, and get ready for this. You know how everyone can get health insurance if you want it? Like you say, I want health insurance. They're not allowed to be like, have you ever done anything unhealthy? Because if so, I don't know.
We can't give it to you.
That's coming back.
Yeah, they're going to
Get excited for that. We hate Obama. We hate Obamacare.
But we love the Affordable Care Act. Don't touch that.
What do you mean I can't get health insurance anymore? This is bullshit. I thought we were making America great again.
In addition to the reports of the cyclist getting hit by the ambulance, the outlet also seemed to indicate that ambulances, particularly in the state of Oregon, are bloodthirsty, and they have killed multiple times this year alone. Ambulance crashes involving cars, cyclists, or pedestrians are rare, but not unheard of in Oregon. Last month, the estate of 25-year-old Kelsey Seibel filed a $6 million lawsuit against South Lincoln Ambulance and Yachit's Rural Fire Protection District, stating that one of their ambulances made a left turn in front of Seibel's car on US 101, killing Seibel in January 2024. And on July 18th at 1 a.m., Oregon State Police say an AMR ambulance hit a car with a flat tire parked on the side of Interstate 84 in Hood River County, killing 55-year-old Geraldine Martin, who was standing outside her car. Hey, maybe they need to add some flashing lights, some sirens.
Next time I'm in Oregon, if I see an ambulance, I'm getting the hell out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically what you do with an ambulance. It seems very suspicious.
I'm not just pulling over. I'm getting out of the car and running for my life.
Yeah, they used to call lawyers ambulance chasers. Now the ambulances are looking for work and they're chasing you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of health and safety, and people's potential lack of common sense, Costco is apparently being forced to recall 80,000 pounds of butter because they failed to let their customers know that butter contains dairy. Despite, butter literally being a dairy product.
It is.
Who doesn't know that?
Well,
children know that.
No, children these days, apparently, they can't read, they can't write, they can't do anything, damn it. All they can do is hot chip and TikTok all day.
So apparently Costco forgot to include a printed notification on their packaging that reads, contains milk. Even though, again, that's butter, baby.
Yeah.
Seems like it's a bad week for packaging and the people who make it.
Once, come on, give us the benefit of the doubt. 2 packaging mishaps?
It's harder than you think.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have linked to a website with more information. Something like, I don't know, butt.com, which is, of course, that's short for butter.com.
Yeah, but, they save money by reducing the character
Since it is a dairy product, how about milkers.com?
They're good.
Go to milkers.com for more information. By the way, we are saying those sites out loud without even checking to see if they're real. We would suggest not checking yourself. There's no shot that it's anything family friendly.
The butt.com and milkers.com probably
butt.com.
That's where I go for all my butter nutritional facts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But anyway, with more on this butt recall, here's KTLA.
Just under 80,000 pounds of Kirkland brand butter made for Costco has been recalled over an undeclared allergen, milk. The allergen is milk. Continental Dairy Facility Southwest LLC initiated the recall last month after it was determined that some of the butter's packaging may be missing the language reading contains milk, according to details made available by the Food and Drug Administration last week. Now look, this is obviously very silly, but we do have to look out for people who might not, for some reason, be aware that butter contains milk. We are only as strong as our weakest link here, folks. So you gotta account for that. It's actually good that packaging is required to state certain allergens, even if those allergens are blatantly obvious. Now, it seems ridiculous because of the product that it happened to, but there's a reason why we have certain regulations. Someone has probably died because of this before.
Yeah.
And because our healthcare system in this country is a profit-driven hellscape, that's what we got to do. You shouldn't be financially ruined because you are dumb enough to consume butter while allergic to dairy. I'm sorry. There's rules in place for this.
All right. Can you believe we made it through the entire first half of this show without covering the next administration? Well, 2 things. First of all, we're going to tell you in advance to click the like button, leave a comment, because, not having a lead story or thumbnail about our big, wet future and former president, it's already going to affect the reach of this video. So we would appreciate it if you helped out by liking and sharing so that we're not trapped in a prison, putting Trump in every single thumbnail, despite having to cover him and his administration for the next 4 years.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Secondly, we are going to cover a few things regarding him and his administration because there are important things to be aware of as we careen towards 2025. But first,
a break.
Let's take a second to thank today's sponsors, starting with Henson Shaving.
If you were born after 1970, there is a very good chance your first razor was a multi-blade razor. These razors have been the status quo for over half a century, but where has that gotten us? According to a recent study, 2/3 of men expect some irritation when they shave. And this next one is what really makes us upset. Over 2 billion plastic razors enter the landfill each year in the US alone. This is why Henson Shaving wants to change the shaving industry. Not through gimmicks like subscriptions or moisturizing strips, but through groundbreaking research on the impact shaving has on your skin. When Henson looked at other razors, they noticed a consistent lack of blade support. Basically that the blades have too much bend or flex. Think of anything else that you'd cut with, kitchen knife, scissors, etc. You would not want that blade that you use to be moving around because you'd have less control. Henson's razors are designed to hold the blade so that there is less bend and less wobble.
Henson makes their razors in their aerospace machine shop in Canada that also made parts for a Mars rover and the International Space Station. Henson's machinists are exceptional at manufacturing, and that level of precision is one of the big reasons their razor is so much gentler on your skin. They've made it so the blade extends only 0.0013 inches past the shave plane of the razor. That is less than the thickness of a human hair. Plus, the Henson razor works with standard dual-edged blades that cost less than 10 cents each. Once you own a Henson razor, it's only about $3 to $5 per year to replace the blades. The razor itself is made of aluminum, and there is no plastic. There's also no plastic in Henson's packaging.
Now it's time to say no to subscriptions and yes to a razor that will last you a lifetime. So visit hensonshaving.com/todaydaily to pick the razor for you and use code todaydaily to get a free shave cream with your razor. You just got to make sure you add it to your cart. That is a free Henson Shave Cream when you head to HENSONSHAVING.com/todaydaily and use code TODAYDAILY at checkout.
This episode is also brought to you by Shopify. You probably already know them. You probably already love them. It's Shopify, the best platform for shopping, hosting your own business, and keeping track of all your shipments in one place. There are a ton of amazing duos out there in the world. We're a perfect example. But the best duo is, of course, Shopify and you. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage, Shopify's there to help you grow.
Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading e-commerce platforms. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. We love Shopify's simple and easy to use app because it keeps track of all your online shipments. You can even connect other platforms so that your tracking is all in one place.
Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/itdaily, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/itdaily now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/itdaily.
All right, back into the news now, and there has been no shortage of people starting to realize the realities of another Trump presidency, specifically now that you could safely assume that any of the guardrails that existed during his previous term, you can assume those will be completely dismantled. So, based on exit polls and post-election surveys, the economy was the most important thing on voters' minds, and people just gravitated towards the promise of cheap goods and services, despite Trump's plan to enact tariffs on countries that provide a whole hell of a lot of our goods. And while it is heartbreaking to see the trending search results from people who clearly didn't understand the repercussions for their votes or how tariffs work at all, this next quote really brings things into perspective because the guy that they quoted in this article, he seemed to know in no uncertain terms exactly who he was voting for, but did it anyway.
Yeah.
This is from a recent article in the Philadelphia Inquirer where they spoke to local voters about the choices they made last week.
Some voters have become desensitized to the outlandishness of Trump. As the nation has gotten accustomed to him, provoking outrage or even fear from his commentary has become harder. That's not to say he hasn't said or done some substantially troubling things. He tried to overturn the 2020 election, and a base of his supporters stormed the Capitol in the January 6th riot. He has said that he'll retaliate against his political enemies and implied those who do not support him are part of the enemy within the country. In the final days of his campaign, he joked about being fine with journalists getting shot at one of his Pennsylvania rallies. In Scranton on Wednesday, Matt Wolfson, a 45-year-old former construction worker, looked around at poverty in the Rust Belt city and thought the nation needed a change in leadership. Wolfson said he didn't love the dictatorial aspect of Trump's personality, but thought it could help keep the country out of wars and maybe bring peace to some other conflicts, including in Ukraine. Quote, "He's good and bad. People say he's a dictator. I believe that. I consider him like Hitler," Wolfson said. "But I voted for the man." Yes. Adolf Hitler, famous for stability in his country, never getting involved in any wars. We all remember it well, folks. Don't we? The famously stable and non-violent Germany of the 1940s.
Yep. Well, meanwhile, chronically online liberals seem to be delving even deeper into the BlueAnon conspiracy theories, questioning the results of last week's election with multiple theories, including one that claims Elon Musk was able to manipulate the election by providing Starlink internet access to voting machines. And by the way, every single part of that conspiracy, it is false. That is not real. That did not happen. But that and conspiracies like it are spreading like wildfire online, specifically on Meta's social media hellscape known as Threads, which seems to be a breeding ground for BlueAnon theories in the days since the election.
Interesting.
Threads finally found what is going to make it successful, and that is just BlueAnon posting.
You would think it would be Blue Sky because it's got blue in the name.
Yeah, no, that's too obvious.
Yeah, Blue Sky is where like the leftists and Tumblr refugees ended up.
Everyone's on Blue Sky now, even the Swifties who have abandoned X for greener pastures. And I think it's doing great. Even more reps and journalists are appearing every day.
Just gotta
It's
add
a
that
great
bookmark
platform.
button.
Yeah.
Just gotta let me bookmark the posts, and I'll be there all
Elliot
the time.
refuses to endorse until there's a bookmark.
They're like, oh, actually, like if you follow this account, like anytime you leave a pin emoji on it, it'll. I'm like, no, I just want a fucking bookmark.
Bookmark button, please.
Yeah.
Anyways, with more on the bizarre but predictable surge of election fraud conspiracies from Democrats, we turn to Taylor Lorenz, who tracks this kind of stuff for her outlet, UserMag. Please use the link in the description below to check out her new platform and become a subscriber. She's doing fantastic work, but here's some of what she found.
Over the past several days, Meta's Threads has become inundated with liberal election fraud conspiracies. The conspiracies range from skepticism about vote tallies in key swing states to allegations of a criminal cover-up by Biden to force the Democrats to lose in order to somehow eventually take down Trump, to claims of Russian interference with voting technology. One pervasive conspiracy as of Saturday morning centered around Elon Musk, alleging that the billionaire hacked the election through his Starlink satellite internet company, which conspiracy theorists claim is part of the voting machine supply chain.
Okay.
She goes on to explain why people are so susceptible to conspiracies, how Meta isn't doing much to help the spread of these types of claims on their platforms, and adds,
Rather than engage in the stark realities of things like natural disasters, political upheaval, a global pandemic, or societal challenges, people are retreating into their own alternative realities. At its core, it's denialism. It's a deliberate rejection of the truth, and anyone who challenges this denialism will be met with hate, hostility, and abuse. And as it relates to Meta's platform in particular, she adds that Threads users said that the app began recommending election denial content and suggested that users search the name Steven Spoonamore on Friday. Spoonamore is a technologist who has claimed that previous elections were hacked and been referred to as the liberal Q. They said we need a liberal Joe Rogan, and everyone was like, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Liberal QAnon.
you're saying we need a liberal QAnon.
Other posts
Cool.
other posts bemoan the media's refusal to cover the alleged stolen election. Quote, I like how no one from the press is talking about how Elon Musk just rigged the election, a user under the handle Alex Nick Jungle posted. Many posts urge others to contact lawmakers and push for recounts. Unlike the Right's Stop the Steal movement in 2020, so far no Democratic officials or candidates have promoted voter fraud or hacking conspiracies.
That's the funniest thing about this is like Kamala Harris and the whole party was just like, yeah, we lost.
They put up no fight at all.
But I guess you, Threads user,
I have seen
you've got this all figured out.
people have posted like campaign emails where they're asking for money still right now, and they're like, if we want to do a recount, we can do it, but it's going to cost us. We have to pay for it personally, and it's like I don't know.
They're not going to
That's-
do a
that
fucking
should-
recount.
Also, more stuff's coming out about how the Harris campaign spent that $1 billion that everyone in the country
Yeah.
gave them, and it was on some of the most ridiculous expenses that you could have ever thought.
They spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on a podcast appearance that got like 80,000 views while turning down a free appearance on Joe Rogan.
It wasn't even that cost money to like the podcast creator. No, they had to
They built
rebuild
a
the
set.
set in a hotel room
Yeah.
instead of going to that person's set.
Yeah.
Also, they spent around $400,000 to appear on the Vegas Sphere.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I guess.
The Sphere's
it seems
right.
like-
With the, who can put a price on being on the Sphere?
apparently, you can. It's $400,000.
Okay. Well,
It's just like when influencers or like companies that rep influencers put them on in Times Square where it's up for like 5 seconds. You can pay money for a little sliver of advertising in Times Square, but you get that picture, and a picture lasts forever.
it does.
That's right.
I do think it's cool how like all the Democrats like not directly involved in the campaign are like clearly the lesson here is that we need to like throw trans people under the bus and make pronouns a crime and build a 50-foot wall around the border. And then like everyone who actually directly worked on the campaign is like, yeah, so here's all the things that were stupid that we did.
Yeah.
It's just
We
very
really
funny.
fucked up.
It's been interesting. Like it seems like a lot of people close to the campaign are very clear-eyed about what the hell went wrong, because it sounds like a lot of them had a lot of good ideas and were begging the campaign to please listen to these ideas, and were ignored.
Every analysis that I've seen or heard in the past couple of days really leans into the fact that Harris came out strong in the beginning, and then immediately went back to the institutions that everyone fucking hates. Like we talked about in one of the recent episodes, getting advice from her family member of please stop being
her brother-in-law
to billionaires.
Yeah, her brother-in-law, like the chief legal counsel of Uber. Yeah, it's
bizarre strategy, and it did not pay off.
no.
So Taylor's full article dives way deeper and includes numerous examples of what has been spreading online, as always linked down in the description below.
But if you do want to put your head in the sand and deny the realities that we will soon be facing, one company is allowing people to press the skip forward button on the entire Trump presidency.
Hey, that's nice.
How would you like to leave the country for 4 years, contribute absolutely nothing towards fighting back against this administration's destructive policies, and then return to see whatever's left?
Hey, what'd I miss?
Well, all aboard the Escape from Reality Express. That is a cruise that will keep you out of the United States and on vacation for the next 4 years straight. Here's Quartz with more. Villa V Residences announced Thursday packages to set sail around the world on the Villa V Odyssey for as many as 4 years. The company is offering a 4-year skip forward package, a 3-year everywhere but home package, a 2-year midterm selection package, and a 1-year escape from reality package. Packages range from $40,000, but it costs $255,999 for one person to have their own room for 4 years, and $159,999 per person for a double occupancy room for 4 years. Tickets include meals with complimentary beer and wine during lunch and dinner.
Hey, okay.
And the ship has a number of amenities, including spa and fitness facilities. Villa V says its ship has access to 425 ports in 140 countries. A company spokesperson told Quartz that Villa V's offer wasn't meant to stir political uproar, but to offer a real way for people who are disappointed with the election results to get away from reality.
You know that some MAGA dude's gonna show up and wear his fucking hat and t-shirts every single day.
I'm gonna trigger this boat.
Yeah,
where are you gonna go? The ocean?
Then you're stuck there for 4 years. Nobody triggers and lives like I do. I paid $250,000 to come on this boat and sit here in my MAGA hat.
That's right.
And drink, definitely not Bud Light.
Hell no.
In fact, I threw all the cases of Bud Light overboard.
I threw the Bud Light in the ocean. That's
this
for the
was
whales.
my Boston Tea Party. But finally today, an update to a story that we had just covered on Weekly Weird News. The monkeys that escaped from a research laboratory in South Carolina have been captured. Okay, not all of them. There are still some on the loose, so keep those doors locked and those windows sealed, residents of South Carolina. But I guess it's a start, and I don't think that they're gonna take our advice on how to handle these captured monkeys once they have them, which is to reintroduce them to their natural habitat, because they have successfully escaped their captors.
Yeah, let them live.
They earned it after all.
Send them back.
So 30 of the reported 43 monkeys have been captured by authorities, which means 12 are still on the loose as of when we recorded this. Getting into all sorts of monkey business, as they call it. With more on
around
the 30 unlucky apes, here's ABC News.
More than half of the rhesus macaque monkeys that escaped from a South Carolina lab have been recovered. As of Monday evening, 30 of the 43 furry runaways that broke loose Wednesday from the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yamasee have now successfully been captured.
It's the most evil-sounding company name. For
Alpha Genesis.
Alpha Genesis Primate Research is a name straight out of a fucking science fiction movie.
It's like some Resident Evil shit. Efforts to safely capture the remaining primates will continue throughout the evening and as long as necessary, a spokesperson for the Yamasee Police Department said. A team of veterinarians, which have been brought in to conduct wellness exams, said all the recovered primates are in good health. As the monkeys are recaptured, they are given snacks. A favorite is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, police said. That's nice. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We will be back soon.
Oh, wait. First,
one more thing.
We have merch coming out.
Yeah.
Not real merch. Well, it is real merch, but it's not shirts and hoodies.
You can't wear it,
but you can look at it.
You can look at it.
Yeah, we are having our own official U2s.
We got
figurines.
Toys.
Yes.
Little statuettes.
They're not dolls. They're not toys. They're collectible figurines.
We got dolls of us coming out.
And all the websites listed on our packaging are safe for everyone.
That's right.
Maybe. We should have them screw up the packaging just for a laugh.
Yeah.
But no, they'll be available on November 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. We will have links and more information.
And they're only going to be on sale for a little bit. There's a pretty brief window of time where you got to order them, and if you miss it,
That's
gone.
it. They're gone forever. You won't have two friends
Yeah.
sitting on your monitor. They are monitor buddies. We will be there for
We
you.
have them somewhere.
We just moved.
They're
so
in one of these boxes. We literally have a prototype.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
we'll show it to you. We like it a lot, and you will too. So keep an eye out. We will have more information about our cool little collectible figurines coming soon. How rare will they be? That's up to you.
Yeah,
They're only making as much as you order. So
Yeah.
this is a big investment opportunity, obviously. But yes, that's the end of the episode. We'll be back with some tech news. But in the meantime, make sure you like the video. Please give us a very warm hug in the form of likes because A, we just moved, which was incredibly difficult, taxing physically and mentally. B, our stuff isn't even set up properly yet. The sound is off, the lighting's off. We are very sorry. Things will get better. We'll be back with more normal episodes and a normal look and sound soon, hopefully. But yes, also the fact that we don't really want to put Trump in the thumbnail every fucking episode, please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and also leave a comment below and talk about anything that we discussed today amongst yourselves. Now, if you missed our previous videos, including our full coverage of the monkey escape plan and other weird news, please check out our most recent episodes. They're popping up right up here. Goodbye. We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.